Hello, Farm of Life family. Here we have another volunteer for us, and she has been amazing. It's been, wow, it's been such gratitude to have you here. Karine Ionesco. Here she is, right here. Say hello to Farm of Life family, Karine.
New member of the family here.
Yes.
New member of the family. Karine, amazing story. Karine's story is pretty amazing. She came here as a guest for 3 days. Actually, let's back up even further than that. An old friend of ours, Billy Newmeyer, who comes here with Elling Livingston to do retreats now. Billy was watched our farm for a while we were in the States and this place was being built. And Karine happened to be here then, just kind of volunteering on different farms, right?
Yeah, what happened was, interestingly enough, I stayed down over at Eric Rifkin's place, and I found out about Eric's place through a website called Give It To Me Raw. It's kind of like an online community for raw food. It's kind of like Facebook a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And a group of us was supposed to go down, and originally it was a group of 4 or 5 people. And just slowly people backed out of it. I have work, I can't, I have another commitment, but I had a ticket and I knew that there was something special for me waiting in Costa Rica because I've always wanted to go.
Nice.
And so I camped down at Eric's for a total about 10 days, and that time totally changed my life. I went hiking, I camped for the first time in my life, and this was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And I met a mutual friend now that we have, Billy,
Mm-hmm.
and he came down to Eric's place and showed me a few waterfalls. One of them is Diamante Waterfall, and that one is just
Pretty magical.
it changed my life.
You've done that
Over and over and over again.
I think I've done it about 9 times.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But it's more than just a hike. It's a very spiritual place. It's more of a inward journey where you just connect to nature and you connect to yourself. You let go of fear, and you let go of the fear of there's going to be snakes and tarantulas and all that here, you know. So I just let that go, and it's absolutely beautiful. So I went hiking with him, and he said, well, you know, why don't you go up to Finca de Vida and see Brian and Jody's place? And you hadn't opened yet, right?
Yeah, our business hadn't even opened yet.
We weren't even living here yet.
And Karine was hanging out here on our farm.
Yeah, and a few buildings were built, a few structures.
Yep.
And Caesar was a puppy.
Caesar was a little puppy.
Was a young
all
guy.
Excited.
Getting into a lot of trouble.
And bad behavior.
Bad behavior.
Yes,
but
yes.
very cute. Very, very cute.
Yes.
So I just, in those 10 days total, that trip, it just changed my life, and I knew it was going to be back here. I just didn't know when.
Yeah.
But I knew it was going to be back.
And so then you came here as a guest for 3 days. You were like, hey, I'm coming down. It was like
She was scoping us out.
Yeah, well, of all the guests, we usually never get guests for 3 days, but Karine's just like, I got a weekend, I'm coming down, and you know, tell us a little bit about that, what your real intentions were during those 3 days.
Well, what happened was, at the time when I did come, I was working at Hippocrates Health Institute as greenhouse manager and PR coordinator, which was a great experience, and I worked there for about a year. And during that time, I just in the back of my mind, this place always held a very special place in my heart.
Nice.
And I was at work and on the computer, and it's like, gosh, I wish I was in Costa Rica, because it really was, you know, what I thought was my dream job, but it wasn't. And you know, I just wanted to be in nature with like-minded people, with people like yourself and Jody. And so I came down for about 3 days, which you probably thought I was nuts.
Yeah, it was a fast trip.
Rain. You went to Diamante again.
You did Diamante.
In pouring rain.
We did Diamante in a monsoon.
We did it when it was like pouring rain, and I didn't care.
And that's when you popped the question. Remember, you were like, we were all, what were we doing? Yoga? We're meditating in the caves. And then you looked at me and you said, I want to work for you guys. I'm going to volunteer for Farm of Life.
That was it. We were right there at the caves, and I just knew deep down in my heart that that was the right decision. I'm leaving my job, and I'm coming to see you guys.
Yeah. And I was like shocked. I was like, what? Wow. I was like, you're totally overqualified for this. I really, you know.
No, it's not about that.
What we charge, you know, I said we can't afford to pay you, and you're like, I don't care. I just want to be a part of what you're doing.
No, it's more than that. It's the loving service that you two have put forth here, and what we've been doing together is worth so much more than any job in the world, because this is my job here. is being of service and seeing the transformation that happens here. Kind of like Hippocrates, where you see guests get better. They really do get better, and you've inspired hundreds of people and hundreds and thousands of people more.
Yep.
And to be a part of that, I get goosebumps.
I know.
You know, it's beautiful. It's a
changing the planet one guest at a time. That's what I tell my wife.
Yeah.
And everyone.
It's not just it's not just the water and the air and the nature. You're allowing space for emotional and spiritual transformation, because it's not just the food that heals you. We know that, right? It's not about the food. It's really about everything else. So
talk to us a little about your transformation here a little bit. So when you came, what did you have a little bit going on, and then what did you work on while you were here specifically to be where you're at right now?
For me, raw and living foods became a passion about 4 years ago. When I discovered that, wow, you really can be vegan and train, and Brendan Brazier was the one to really inspire me with his book, Thrive.
Brendan, yes.
And
hello, Brendan.
Totally inspired by his story. And so it's pretty much kind of like an overnight transition where I let go of meat and dairy and eggs, and I just felt better. I gained a lot more clarity. I slept better. I ran more, you know, so I'm still very active. And even though I don't play tennis, I played tennis my whole life. So that's when I quit my career 4 years ago. It's when that whole transformation happened.
That's right. She was a pro tennis player.
You do.
She was good. Very good. We got to hit a couple of times here. We had some fun.
Yeah.
We're going to hit more maybe next year, though, hopefully
I'll
next
bring my
season.
racket.
All right, cool.
Yeah, because I didn't have my rackets.
I know. You got to hit with my big heavy rackets. Not fun.
Yeah, so that really propelled me into that world, and soon after I was so passionate about raw and living foods, I wanted to make it creative and make it fun for people and make it fun for myself. It's not just carrot sticks and sticks, right? So much
I hope not.
So I went to Living Light Culinary Arts Institute in California, and I got my raw chefing degree and started teaching workshops and classes with people at their homes and doing kitchen makeovers. That was a lot of fun. I did that for a while, and then I did health coaching at IIN, Institute for Integrative Nutrition, and my roommate Mary, which you did a blog
We
with.
just blogged on recently.
We were actually in the same classroom, which is pretty crazy.
That's pretty awesome. You didn't even know each other at that point.
No, because it was a really big classroom in New York. So, so I was working as a health coach and had my own little business, and then I went to Hippocrates, and before I knew it, I was working there.
Amazing.
But it's just it's interesting because I'm here where it all began for me, my journey about 3.5 years ago. Down there, here is where I am again, and so it's really.
And what changes? What changes have been made in that time?
Oh my gosh. I don't know where to start.
How about emotional? Any emotional changes?
Yes, definitely emotional. I've gained. I love myself. You know.
There you go.
You know, it's unconditional love, and it's you know, I've allowed space for emotional healing, and you know, of course, I've cleansed physically, but just more of a clarity of where I want to go and peace within my heart. You know, I've really adopted you know, meditation practice and yoga, of course, which has really, you know, shaped my day and really starts my day off right.
That's perfect. It's where you create your day, right? That's great.
I think more than anything, I've learned stillness and just to be in the now. Whereas before it was just like something to do. I got to be here and I got to be there, and I'm here. I don't need to prove anything to anyone anymore. You know, I'm not in a typical job, and that's okay, because this is worth so much more.
And now you know the answers are right in there.
It's right within my heart.
Yeah.
So I already know.
Yeah.
I just need to open the gate.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. Now that was when you were in loving service to yourself as a volunteer here. Now you were in loving service big time to others here too, and you were amazing at that. You were an assistant. You did yoga for guests, and you helped out.
Supported us through a lot of retreats.
You supported us big time with food. You were right there with Mary, working alongside Chris and Mary with the.
So much fun.
Yeah, talk to us a little bit about that, like just a little bit about, you know, like some of the retreats and.
You had two amazing chefs to work with.
Yeah,
Chris
exactly.
Kendall and Mary Graham.
Wow, completely blessed to be in their presence and work together, create together.
Mm-hmm.
And the energy that we flowed through in the kitchen and the guests, the retreats. I was happy doing whatever here.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I had a pretty awesome role where I was assisting either chefs, either Mary or Chris, and teaching yoga sometimes, and for the guests when we weren't busy for retreats, because that's a pretty busy season we had.
Oh man, we did, and it's going to be even busier next season.
How many retreats? 10?
10.
Right now we've got 10, and I would assume that we've got 2 or 3 more slots, and they're going to probably be filled by the time we're ready to go next year. So. Yeah.
So my plan is to come back in January, and do the same thing. I can never leave this place. I can't. This is my second home, and I can't thank you enough, Jody, Brian.
You're welcome.
For allowing, for creating this sanctuary, this healing sanctuary for guests to come and experience so much healing.
That's cool.
It's really,
thank you.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Thank you for your loving service here.
It's been an honor. It's been an honor, really.
You've been fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, the fact that the quality of people that we have had, Mary, you, Chris, Jake now, Erica coming, and all the volunteers, Lisa, hi Lisa out there. I mean, it's just amazing. It just I'm always so honored, that the quality of volunteers that have been here and have graced the presence of Farm Alive.
Yeah.
It's wow.
Yeah.
It's amazing. What's the future like for Karine?
The future.
Yeah. What are you doing? Short term, long term. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah. Well, I'm actually going to be back in Costa Rica in about 3 weeks. I'm going home tomorrow to Montreal. And spending some family time. See my mom, my brothers, my nieces, my nephews. And then back in Costa Rica to a different community called Pachamama.
Pachamama Mama.
Pachamama Mama.
Going there. Haven't been there yet. Hello, all Pachamamians. How you doing? We'll have to stop by and say hey at some point.
Yeah, you will have to visit me. Surprise visit maybe.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
so
absolutely.
I'll be there for 4 months working as a raw chef and doing also the permaculture garden. So doing a work exchange, same thing.
Nice.
And I'm excited about the experience. So I'll be there for 4 months, and after that I'll be in California in October for yoga teacher training at Shivananda.
That's right.
A little ashram there in Grass Valley, California.
Gonna get your yoga certificate.
Officially legal to teach.
Legal.
Whatever that means.
Yeah, whatever that means. I mean, because before, it's...
She's an illegal yoga alien right now.
It was Karine yoga, It was good, but, I'll be, more like,
Karine
serious.
yoga, and what about Chris Kundalini yoga?
Kundalini
yoga takes you right up. Ooh, you levitate with Kundalini yoga. So.
And Mary yoga.
And Mary yoga. I mean, these are yogas without certifications, but you know what? They're yogas from the heart, and people love it. People love that stuff. So.
Totally.
Yeah, so you're gonna be legal anyway.
I'll be legal, regardless. Good. Whatever happens, I'll be legal.
You'll be legal. You'll have your card that says you can do yoga.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's for this year, and then that's pretty much it. Next year, I've got some travel plans, but not set in stone.
Nice.
So later in the year, maybe Thailand yoga, and Thailand and India.
Thailand, India. Wow. That sounds like fun.
But that's far, and I've really learned to because plans can change.
They always do.
And they always do. And I know that because I've lived through so much of that. So
yeah.
I'm just putting it out there, but whatever happens, happens.
Whatever happens, happens. That's so true.
So, yeah.
Thanks, Karine.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks for all of it. Really.
From my heart. I love you.
Love you too. All right, Farm Alive family. We'll see you later. Till the next blog.